Hello, everybody, and welcome to Madmen with a Box live, like our 109th episode or something. Joining me, ProfPixel, as always, is Chris, Aussie.
I'm here. Hang on. I need to change my headline. But yes, I am here. Hello.
And not always, but frequently, it is the Landry of the Q Walkers. It's
morning.
Walker. Good morning. And welcome back. Today we're going to be reviewing Victory of the Daleks, but that's later. We have some, exciting news to dig into. Yes.
Just one.
One thing.
Exciting new.
Exciting new.
And it's not really exciting per se.
No, not even really exciting. I mean, at least they admitted that they were wrong.
Yes. So recently, for those who know, Big Finish, they updated their site. It didn't work as planned. A lot of people's data from the previous version of the site did not cross over, so they were actually missing stuff. A lot of people were not happy with the new user interface. I was one of them. The new user interface for searching your orders is actually bad. It is literally just type the name in and that's it. There is no categorizing them properly. So yeah, not particularly good on that front. So they have put up an apology saying that they have been planning this for the past 18 months and it just didn't go to plan. It's just something that happened. And in the meantime, until they can actually get it working, they are rolling back the site to its previous version.
So,
but they would still, if you still made purchases on the new version of the site, they're going to carry that over to the older version. Which I think is a good thing because we're halfway through August and they haven't released anything. And I think that's a good thing. When your site is not working and a lot of people aren't happy with it, probably still not a good idea to try and sell something on it. Yeah. Even me, until they get it sorted, I was very hesitant in buying something because what happens if it just suddenly decides, actually, no, you didn't buy that. It's just not there. So hang on, I gave you money for this, so where is it?
Yeah.
So I would say good on them for addressing this and that they are at least working on a temporary solution.
Yeah.
But then again, I always go back to there was nothing really wrong with the previous site. You just wanted to glam it up a bit. There really wasn't. It was a good functioning site. It was easy to navigate. It worked well. I don't know.
Technology. So what happened was this is the power of the Doctor, and the old site was Jodie Whittaker, and the Master went ahead and forced the Doctor to regenerate into the Master. So this is the new Big Finish site is the Master, if you think about it. But now we've gone back. It's back to the Doctor.
Oh.
Oh, okay. I see how it is.
That's exactly how it is. That's the best way to explain it.
So when they eventually fix it and they go to change the site again, it's just going to be their first ever one they did.
That's right.
Back in the 90s.
It's going to go all the way back.
It's going to go all the way back. And it's going to, why do I have this face?
Why do I have this webpage?
Why do I have this webpage?
And then
it will bi-generate into the newer one.
So there will
you
be
can still visit the old one
sites.
and then go to the new one.
That's great. I'm so glad that we've established the coming history of Big Finish.
Yes. Yes, we have.
And that's pretty much our news. Did you hear anything this week?
Someone was posting around. I responded to it. So someone on X was talking about you know how at the start of Space Babies, how they go to visit the dinosaurs and Ruby accidentally steps on a butterfly and gets turned into a lizard person because when you step on a butterfly, you change time.
Yeah.
Someone was complaining like their exact words were, "So what was the point of this? It's a joke. That's a bloody expensive joke. Could have negotiated the time and money used to get 15 extra minutes of the finale. Russell, you can't just say it's a joke to every weird, unexplained thing." Now, the thing is, one, it's a visual gag. Two, it's not unexplained.
Yeah,
We see how this works.
And honestly,
a butterfly, and then suddenly she's now this weird lizard thing.
Butterfly thing. She was a butterfly thing. It was the most horrific thing. As a person who has a deep and abiding fear of butterflies, it was the most horrifying moment of Doctor Who for me ever. I'm not kidding. Oh my God, that was my worst nightmare. Regardless, I thought it was actually it tells you, if we assume the idea, of course, being that there's a wave of new viewers coming in, why don't they just go through and change history willy-nilly? Like, why don't they just change everything? This is why. It's just setting the groundwork of the rules for a new audience of how time travel works within this universe. It's important. It's like people don't. Oh, that's.
There are when I responded to the post, there is a lot of things that you could complain about. Russell's hand waviness. There is a lot more you can complain about. This is not one of them. Because it's not hand wavy, it is explicitly shown and explained.
Yeah, it's
explained by showing, not telling. You know that writing thing. Yeah,
that's the thing.
It serves a purpose. It entertains. It does everything it needs. No, it's a good bit. It was monstrous and should never have been filmed.
Just like Space Babies, I guess.
Worse, 1,000 times worse. No, I was like, that was bad. That was real bad. That's like nightmarishly bad for me.
I need to that reminds me, because that's when I have to wait until I get in a little bit. I will be buying those Target novelizations, because even
a few of the Target novelizations have come out, and this was 73 Yards came out recently.
Mm-hmm.
Then I think, what is it? Rogue?
I've heard really good positive things about 73 Yards.
Does it actually explain stuff?
Oh, I have no idea. I haven't read it.
I'm gonna have a look. See.
Don't. Yeah,
I won't say anything, but
yeah, because what's Connor over at the 50% podcast went ahead and he tweeted, "Listen, I get it. If people want to go ahead and know the answer, that's fine for you. Don't tell me." Because that's what makes the episode good to him, the mystery of it all.
Connor liked the episode?
Yeah.
I used to think so highly of Connor.
There is a list of deviations from the television story, but from what I'm seeing, nothing too substantial. So I'm guessing it is just the TV episode again with like extra stuff, which is how most of the novelizations work.
Rogue, I hear, is very, because the people writing it who wrote the episode said that they went ahead and took the task as if they were making it its own thing rather than
Rogue could have been a 4-parter, and I would have been
what they had written.
Rogue was great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it was still there. It's still the same people writing it. It's just them saying.
I mean, I've written bad. People can write good things and bad things. Doesn't just because. Yeah. I mean, I've definitely. Definitely written some bad things.
But yes, that is essentially our news.
That's it.
Very quiet. There's
That's it.
Literally nothing for Doctor Who until Christmas. Or if they decide to release the spin-off.
Oh, actually, that's a lie. That is a lie. There is news. Tales of the TARDIS. Oh, we have Joe the.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Tales
Oh.
Hello, Joe.
Hello,
Whoa,
Joe.
it's true.
Tales of the TARDIS. We can't access it, or can we? So it is now available. At least episode 9, the one that they released before Empire of Death. You can now purchase that episode of Tales of the TARDIS with the new updated features for Pyramid of Mars. Instead of doing that, just get a BritBox subscription and watch Pyramid of Mars. But still, you can access that one.
That's weird that it's only just that one. And I think from what I saw, it's still UK exclusive.
So,
like to buy it.
Really?
Like you can only buy it in the UK.
I'm going to pull up Amazon right now and we'll learn.
Which again, we've had this talk. The whole like Tales of the TARDIS. Sure, it was like out of Russell's hands, but like that was during the anniversary, and that would have been a great thing for everyone to experience, not just the British. Like, again, you know, a VPN is handy, but I'm not using it for one thing. I'm not going to get a VPN to use it for one thing. If I'm using a VPN, I want to use it for multiple things. I'm not just going to use it just for Doctor Who.
Joe, I just want to say, let's see if I can. Let's see. I don't think I can get the. No, it's not going to work.
No.
This Kardak the Mystic.
Uh-huh.
I saw the preview for this. Oh my God. When does this come out?
It just came out today. So
okay, because that I have only read the preview so far, and I freaking loved it. So I'm very excited.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. No, I loved working on it, and Butch Mappa, the artist, was just incredible, and Ellie Wright, the colors too, like the
panel of catching the bullet there.
Yeah.
That
Right.
like there's so much energy and life to it. It's just so good. No, I'm excited to pick this up. I was, it really came up in my Twitter feed. I'm like, ooh.
Nice. Thank you.
No, I'm. You ever have a moment where you felt like you had something that you were going to say and then it totally left your mind? Yes. Yes, you have. That just happened to me. I have no words.
So while Pixel tries to figure that out, that's it for the news. So it's time for our topic. So we have decided after Day of the Daleks, we're going to do another Dalek episode, this time for New Who. So we have decided on Victory of the Daleks, the third episode of Series 5. This premiered on the 17th of April, 2010. It is written by everyone's favorite writer, including Jimmy. I mean, if he was here, he would just be singing the praises to heaven to this writer, Mark Gatiss.
Important Gatiss moment that is. I mean, that's why he has that tattoo.
Yeah, that's like Jimmy. He doesn't show it often, but Jimmy has a full-on mural tattoo of Mark Gatiss.
I'm good with him never showing if he has any tattoos, but no, I mean, I also like, for me though, with Mark Gatiss, I feel like best thing he wrote was probably that short where he abducted Peter Davison. That was pretty funny.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. I hadn't cried this much since Adric died. Like, it's great. There's some good bits in there.
Well, it's funny, like looking at, like, before we get into the episode, looking at his like writing credits for Doctor Who, it's like Unquiet Dead. It's okay. It's not bad. Idiot's Lantern. I kind of like Idiot's Lantern, but like the fandom just hates it.
I hate it.
Victory of the Daleks, we'll get to. Night Terrors, I don't like Night Terrors. I really don't like Night.
Yeah.
Cold War is okay.
Crimson Horror. Cold War.
I do like Cold War as like as a reintroduction for the Ice Warriors. Crimson Horror, not good. I don't like Robot of Sherwood. Sleep No More, sleeper hit. Okay, I won't hear anyone else's thoughts about it. Sleeper hit. Empress of Mars, Empress of Mars is okay. It's not
All right.
It's an all right. It's not the best Ice Warriors story, but it's
fine.
It's fine. And then he also did An Adventure in Space and Time, which we all love. It's great. But yes, him kidnapping Peter Davison, best thing that's ever happened.
It might be the best thing he did.
Maybe, yeah.
It's tight to the point.
Let's forget he was CGI Scorpion Monster in the Lazarus Experiment.
Oh right, I forgot about that. I always forget about that.
Yeah.
See,
hey, I love the Lazarus Experiment, but yes, that CGI has not aged well.
I think Gaddis does some great, like he hits some highs, some lows.
Majority of the time, he's just in the middle. He's just an in the middle kind of guy.
I mean, like I was saying earlier, every writer has bad stories. Best writer in the world, you're going to have bad moments.
Yeah.
Try to read the beginning. The Tolkien started writing a sequel to Lord of the Rings that he abandoned. Start that and go, oh yeah, no, okay. Bad moment.
Mistakes were made.
But yes, Victory of the Daleks. So this story sees the 11th Doctor responding to a emergency call from Winston Churchill himself. Winston Churchill is here to show him his latest weapon against the Nazi menace in World War II, the Ironside Project, aka the Daleks. What are the Daleks up to? Let's start with Mr. Landry.
Start with me. Oh my God.
Begin. What are your thoughts on Victory?
I've been working like 3 jobs right now, so I've watched this. I did not rewatch it, which I really wanted to do. But if you want my thoughts on this episode, I'm going to give them briefly. It was fine. Just like we were talking about some of those other Gaddis episodes. It was fine. It was when the whole concept of the Daleks being an asset in war, they don't know what they've got, and it was all. We got some great toys out of this one and some terrible toys out of this one. I mean, I've got the Dalek with the serving tray toy, right? I've got that. But then I have his Winston Churchill action figure. What am I? No. He was great.
Mommy, I want the Winston Churchill action figure.
What kid is running around screaming, oh my God, that one?
To be fair, during this era, like, Doctor Who was just like pumping out toys.
Yeah, and it was almost always here's another aging male like authority figure toy. There's weird choices. The performance, now mind you, that actor, his performance was phenomenal. I remember him from what's that show about the doctor in that little seaside town?
Doc Martin.
Yeah, Doc Martin. He was in Doc Martin, and as I recall, and he was very good in that. I was happy to see him. And of course, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm working off 10 years of memory here, but this is where we introduce this really exciting concept of these new, the Daleks. That's it, right? This is where we get them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, the Paradigm Daleks, yeah.
Loved that. And I love the way the Doctor interacts with them. I love all of that. It just set us up for something that I was very excited about that was never delivered on in the show, regardless if they did anything in ancillary material. And so I feel like I was shown a photo of this episode for me feels like I was shown a photo of a really delicious cake, and then they never delivered the cake, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep. Joe, your thoughts?
I am of 2 minds about this episode, because understanding Mark as well as I can, it's very clear this is a throwbacky sort of story. This is a very William Hartnell, Patrick Troughton. We haven't really figured out what you do with the Daleks yet, so this kind of wacky situation, and it's a historical story.
You're cutting out a bit on and off there, Joe, skipping.
That's weird. I should be.
And on anyone else's end, or is it just me?
It's on my end too, but it was because of my end.
Here, I'm gonna see.
Yeah, that doesn't make too much sense. I can come out and come back in. Give me a sec.
Oh, try again. You're seeing clear now.
Okay, it's good. Is it not good?
No, you're good now. You seem good now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, maybe it was my connection. But yeah, so it's very much a throwback to those kind of stories, but also some of those stories we don't go back to as much for like a reason. Like the chase is fun, but I wouldn't say it's an all-time Dalek story. And this has like those kind of like silly. There's something inherently silly about the idea, and they pull off the menace to a point, but it's like an inherently silly, campy sort of story that you would expect to be. It's this should be a like Patrick Troughton, Ben and Polly story.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So like I feel like that is what it was supposed to do, and in that regard, I think it was successful, but it's also still very. But but again, there's a reason why some of that stuff isn't the best. So I think I appreciate what it was doing. I like that element of it, but it is a warts and all situation, and there are problems with that tone that I feel drag the story down. But especially when it's laid out for the tone of the rest of the season, it stands out a bit. I think it serves a purpose by having like kind of a little levity, but
yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Though we are still getting some reception issues through that. Though your points came through, but there's still some clarity. It's weirdly skipping. But it has that feel of like an old episode. It would fit in really well with the Second Doctor era. You're not wrong.
For me, that was the main thought that kept coming to mind. That a large part of what makes this enjoyable to see is just how damn silly oh my god, it's happened. Unless this is Gervain playing a trick, it's Jimmy.
Yeah, it's heard the call of Gaddis.
Well, he heard that you were reviewing a Mark Gatiss episode, and he was like, "I have to be here."
Well, I heard it was terrible, so I thought I should show up.
Shut up.
Hey, Joe. Hey, Landry.
Hello.
Hey, Jimmy.
Sorry, you guys hate this as much?
Well, I talked about how I thought it was fine. There's some things about it I really liked, but how my disappointment was it never really delivered on the interesting premise of the new Age of Daleks. We got some great visuals and a lot of other stuff that was fun. It just didn't go anywhere in the stuff it set up.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And I was just saying the best. Go for it, Jimmy.
No, Joe, you should tell. Joe had an interesting take on it.
Yeah,
I thought would really say
yeah. To sort of do it, it's basically it's a Patrick Troughton, particularly kind of felt like Patrick Ben and Polly sort of situation. So that ends up being the best and worst part about it.
Yeah, I could see Troughton being in this, and it probably would have been better. But the reason this episode's bad, you guys are going way too far into it. You guys are talking about story. You guys are talking about characters. You guys are talking about... No. It's because it was written by Mark Gatiss. It's just...
Jimmy, you don't have to hide your love for the guy anymore. My God.
We know you love him, man.
You're overcompensating.
That guy just doesn't know how to do anything, okay? I like him when he's an actor. He's an okay actor. But when it comes to writing, hear me out. The Chamber of Secrets is better than this. It's the worst Harry Potter book.
It is?
Chamber of Secrets?
100%.
Chamber of Secrets is good. What are you talking? This isn't a Harry Potter podcast, Jimmy.
Yeah, I'm just going to leave it at Jimmy, I've agreed with you in the past, but today we are at odds.
She said even herself it's the worst one, and she was going to writing classes because she's never wrote in her life, never taken actual writing courses. So she was going to writing courses when she was writing this book. And guess what?
She's such a bad writer, she doesn't know when she wrote anything good. I don't listen to J.K. Rowling's opinion on anything, including her own work.
I don't listen to her on anything other than her own work.
I don't know. I mean, what writer is really qualified to come in and tell whether their stories are good or bad?
Tolkien.
No, even Tolkien should never weigh in on his own work and say, this is good, this is good, this one is bad. No.
J.K. Sterling. No, I'm kidding.
Anyway,
kidding.
Pixel, you were starting to give your opinion on.
Yes. As the real Mark Gatiss fan here, this episode has a lot of okay things. That's the gist of it. But the problem with this is that Victory of the Daleks is not a good title for this episode. They say it in the episode what it should be. Restoration of the Daleks. It's time for the restoration of the Daleks. And they go ahead, they bring out the paradigm. That's what it should have been called.
To be fair, Pixel, they did win. The Daleks are back.
Oh, okay.
That's
I thought
their
you were going
victory.
to say it was already in expanded material. Restoration.
No, it's not even counting that. They did win. That's the whole that's one of the points, is that they won in the end.
I know,
they brought the Daleks back.
It's still not a good. It's not
and
a
then
good title.
And then they disappeared.
And they did nothing.
Then they did
Yeah.
nothing. Exactly. They
already won.
They KBO'd. They kept buggering on.
You know, here's my take. I went fishing one time, and I caught an 8'3" sailfish. I never needed to go fishing again. I won at fishing. The Daleks won in that episode. They were done.
No, I still think restoration would have been better.
Me and the Daleks are like this. We understand each other.
I still think restoration's better. It just fits.
It's a good title.
And it's one of these rare instances where it would actually like go ahead and be perfect for it. But then they don't use it, so it doesn't matter. That is the big problem here. They set up a paradigm. I'm very excited for this paradigm because, they each have their own specialty that they're going to be contributing to their big team to go ahead and launch a new era of Dalek. It does nothing. They do nothing. The Supreme was not very supreme in his ruling here, in his reign. It was so short-lived. Nothing was done. They even, one of the first things I did when I got into Doctor Who was go to the library and pick up those guides, and I loved looking at the comparison for the Daleks and seeing, this one has this weird fleshy orange eye compared to the blue light of the classic era, and it's like, oh wow, okay, this is neat. I'm into it. Nothing. It's a waste.
I did the same thing when I got into Doctor Who, and I found a book at the school library, and it happened to show some bits of different Daleks at the time, and only it paid off back then because the Daleks were better. Yeah.
You know what? Here's the thing. The only thing I like about this episode are the different Daleks. Yeah, it just went nowhere.
That's the problem.
That is the main problem that we're.
I can't hate this episode for what future episodes didn't do.
Everyone hated those Daleks when they came out, though. People almost rebelled against it. Oh, you changed the Daleks! Burn them all! It's like the Daleks have always modified themselves or changed. It's a casing. It's a creature inside. They might upgrade and get better armor at some point. Why not?
Yeah,
They've done it before.
this was a brand new.
No, it's just you can't hate this episode. I can't believe I'm sticking up for a Mark Gatiss episode. You can't hate this episode for something future episodes didn't do.
I don't hate this episode. It is a fun, campy episode that we're talking. They have planes that go up into space to fire at the Dalek flying saucer.
That's a lot of episodes within the first season of the reboot, all the way till Matt Smith's end.
Pixel, your Gaddis bias of how much you dislike him is really coloring your opinion here. You got to support Jimmy in his love for this this creator. Like, it's not right.
Shut up.
We all support you, Jimmy. We believe in you and your Gaddis fanboyism.
I also feel that there are weak points with what's his name? Not Bramwell.
Bracewell.
Oh,
Bracewell, yeah.
Bracewell is a very weird part of this story. I know that they needed him to be their plant, but like, oh, by the way, he's a bomb. Oh, okay. All right. And he's definitely a robot, but we're going to go with. Is he still around? Are we just saying that he's still out there because he can't age?
Yeah, he comes back in the Pandorica opens.
Oh yeah, he does, doesn't he?
Yeah,
that.
It's when the Van Gogh painting.
It feels like it was written by AI. It's like, what's a Doctor Who episode? Oh, we're just gonna put a bunch of just random shit into one episode and go, it's Doctor Who.
Tell us what you really think, Jimmy.
All right, it's terrible.
I loved it.
This is a fine episode. This is okay. There are parts of it that I really do love. I love the design of the paradigm. The paradigm itself is exciting. Matt Smith's performances are.
Hey, Pixel, did you see what the chat said right after I said that? Yeah, that's my boy Ben.
Or something.
Let's go, Ben. That's one of my college best friends. Fuck yeah, he agrees with me. I like him.
Wow, someone who knows Jimmy agrees with Jimmy.
Well, we know Jimmy and we don't agree with Jimmy, so let's be fair. Ben
you guys end up like after I say something, you guys like in like a year, 6 months, you guys just kind of end up agreeing with me in the end.
No.
After I took my hiatus, I came back, and you guys are like, it's kind of funny you're back.
Lol, he's not agreeing with you, Jimmy. Oh, failure.
I'm not agreeing with you.
Your plan failed.
His facts is probably to the point that this episode is fine. It's a fine episode. It really is. There's hits, there's misses, but it basically equals a fine episode. It's not a great Dalek episode. It's not a bad Dalek episode.
Get wrecked, nerd.
You know what's funny? He's agreeing with you, and he's never seen Doctor Who.
Okay. See, you didn't say that when you thought he was agreeing with you, though.
Yeah, of course, I want to win.
There is no winning. Just guess what? The only people that won in this episode were the Daleks, and they do nothing with their win. So,
and you can blame Mark Gatiss for that.
All right, Chris, what's your opinion?
My opinion. Yeah, this episode is okay. It is the most Mark Gatiss episode to Mark Gatiss.
No,
it's fine. The Dalek redesigns, I'm okay with the color. I just don't like the design themselves. Giving them the dump truck behind. I know there was a purpose to it. It is supposed to be a weapons rack that they can swap weapons. But considering that never happened, it is just a pointless just feature to them. That's on them. I think it is very very Deus Ex that oh, how do we stop Bracewell from blowing up?
Think about it.
Let him have emotions. Let him feel. Remind him he's actually human. And I'm like, if that's how you could easily turn off a walking, talking bomb, I feel like no one would be manufacturing this bomb.
Also,
But the Daleks wouldn't guess that would work.
I guess, but I just feel like it's too, not really cop-out, but, it just seems silly.
Bad.
I mean,
not
the
really
Daleks
bad
are
either,
inherently silly villains in a lot of ways.
That's
the
I
thing.
mean, yeah, that's true.
there are
And for them to have this short side, oh, we never expected that you could, stop it by having feelings because we can't relate to that. Why would they would be a blind spot for them? So that actually works for me in this case. Though I do see your point, because it also that sort of thing that gets used over much during this era of Doctor Who. So
Yeah.
I see that point.
It's also weird that they used because the doctor is the one who's by Bracewell and saying, "Remember your dead parents, come on!" And that doesn't work. What works is Amy saying, "Hey, you ever like someone you shouldn't? Tell us about her. Dorabella. Oh, Dorabella. Go find Dorabella." And the joke at the end about, because Bracewell's ready at the end of the episode, "All right, I need to be deactivated. I know. Oh, yes, that's right. I'm going to be doing just that in about, 15. Oh, it's actually going to be about 20. You know what? He's not getting it. 30 minutes. Half an hour." And it's like, okay.
But yeah,
Misses.
other than that, I don't really have too many problems with this episode. I read somewhere where some people believe this should have been a two-parter, and I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know if that would make it better if it was a two-parter.
No, that would make it worse.
No, would have made it better. I was thinking that while watching this episode.
I don't.
See, the thing is, with it, one of the major issues is how compressed it all is. It is jam-packed into this little bit when it should have been the first part is the lead up. Why are the Daleks acting like they're wanting to help in World War II? What is this? What's going on? Then the reveal at the end, the Daleks go up. The second part is about facing the paradigm, and the paradigm may escape at the end, but in World War II, they are able to fend them off just
right.
enough.
Maybe they change something in time just enough that it's going to ensure some effect. The Doctor doesn't even know what's going to happen yet, but they did this thing, and now I can't change it back. Now we have to go and see what kind of butterfly effect. Haha, I brought it back to that. They've created. I agree. A part 2 where we actually get to see this group of Daleks in action. We get to see why they did all this on a greater level. Could have really served it in so many ways.
So you call the first episode Infiltration of the Daleks and then Victory of the Daleks.
I think Restoration. Stick with your Restoration.
Restoration, Victory, or?
Restoration and then Victory. Yeah.
Okay, that works. It's just weird to have the Restoration when the Restoration would be I guess it would be at the end of the first part. I don't know. I'm doing Mark Gatiss' job for him right now, so cut me some slack.
But still, I think, yeah, after this, these Daleks just become nothing. The Supreme still exists. The red ones get promoted to essentially just captains of, drones. All the others is just bye, see ya. Mainly because just no one liked it. It's just
yeah.
And it's funny.
That's their fault.
They redesigned it so they could match Karen Gillan's height. And then she never on screen with them. She has never been with she never shares the screen with a Dalek.
They should have just done something where she's looking down at them. That would have been fine. But Yeah, they should have done something with those Daleks. That was a real shame and a real loss.
But if you are interested in them finally doing something, they did a story in Big Finish that finally utilized the paradigm, and it's really good.
Well, that's good. I'm glad they did that. Like, well,
It
those
took
are our
them
opinions.
so many years, though.
Look at us with all these opinions.
Now, that's all. That's our thoughts on Victory of the Daleks. We come to our ratings. Landry, what are your 50 different rankings for Victory of the Daleks?
Well, if it was a Patrick Troughton episode, as Joe suggested, I probably would have given it like a 9. Because this would have really fit that era, and you give me some of the cinematography of that era, yeah. But since it wasn't, and it didn't deliver on what made it exciting, I'm going to give it a 6, and I'm only giving it as high as 6 because the paradigm was exciting. Matt Smith's performance when he's facing them with the Jammy Dodger and all that was one of those bits that actually, if you think about it, really stuck for the fandom. It was a great iconic bit with him. That really gave us a good look at this Doctor. It made Jimmy laugh just now, which is good. You know, Jimmy needs more laughter.
Yep, that's what I was laughing at.
And I'm giving it a 6 because it suffers from, it just doesn't go anywhere. It has no direction in the end. It's just, here's the thing. Bye. That's my take. 6.
Yeah.
Joe, the Corolla.
I think I liked it maybe slightly more, but 6.5 is where I clock this. Well, it's mostly the same things you said. It's good, but it's good enough that that's all it really is.
I can't believe I have to ask this, Jimmy.
You know
10
what?
out of 10. Okay, thanks for telling us that, Jimmy.
10
Pixel,
out
what's
of
your
10.
rating?
Wow, that's a little high even for me, man.
I'm kidding. Go ahead, Jimmy.
That's why Jimmy has the tattoo we talked about.
Yeah.
This episode is so good. Like, I remember it more than most Mark Gatiss episodes. It's like, without being like funny or whatever, it's so good, man. I give it like a 4 out of 10.
4 out of 10 is
For those who don't know, that's like a 20 out of 10 in Jimmy speak.
This is probably one of the best Mark Gatiss episodes. Think of all of his episodes, all of them.
We did that before you showed up.
Yeah, well, you're lucky I wasn't here. It's a
I like
4 out of
Cold
10. Mark, like, what's the other one? Extremis is probably
No.
no,
He
the
can
one
do
with the
Extremis.
the capitalist where he goes blind.
No.
That wasn't him.
Nope.
Well, that should be up there with him. Yeah, 4 out of 10. Because I like some of the things he did, but they didn't get paid off, so I can't blame him for that. Damn it.
That's right, Moffat.
Yeah, that's more of a Moffat decision.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Moffat did do that too with like the next season. No, not the next season. Season 7, where he was like, it was like these light bulbs disappearing and stuff. Mr. TARDIS did a whole episode on it. It was really cool. And then they kind of just like stopped doing that halfway through the season.
What?
Yeah, so it's like there was like light bulbs flickering, and the Doctor kept noticing them. And
I remember this. Yeah.
yeah, it got to a point where, like, remember the Old West episode, like in the Wild West, where the lights flicker. He goes, "There, that's wrong, right there."
What
That's
a waste
like-
of Ben Browder.
It was like yeah, but it was also like a really cool idea. I wanted to know where it went,
Mhm.
but then after that episode, it kind of just disappeared.
I'd forgotten about that, but you're not wrong.
Yeah, Mr. TARDIS has a whole episode about YouTube video about it. So it's a really cool. If you want to watch it, you should watch it, Landry. It's really cool.
No, it sounds interesting.
So Landry is known for. I mean, not Landry. Moffat is known for like just abandoning plots, and this was one of them, which I would have liked to see where it went. And yeah, so you know what? I'll be nice. 5.
Okay, well, I want to go ahead and
I mean, to be fair, we kind of did see where it went. For some reason, the Daleks eventually have a prime minister.
yeah, the Parliament of the Daleks.
Why the Daleks would need a parliament?
It's one of those crazy ideas. I was tempted to write. I couldn't figure out a good way to get around how I could get a doctor in there without some crappy memory wiping thing at the end. I was going to try to write my way around for what was it, Paul Spragg, and featured that asylum. And I was like, because I rewatched that episode like 2 times to go ahead and get, and I just laughed every time the Parliament showed up. I was like, why is this a thing? Why would you do this? What leads you to think that the Daleks should have a prime minister? I did want to go ahead and mention there is one shot in this episode that is really great, and it is when the doctor is trying to tell Winston Churchill, listen, you can't trust these things. It's really close on his face. The doorway is shown in the back, and the Dalek passes by, looks and Matt Smith like looks out in the corner of his eye, and it's like fantastic.
That is a great shot. You're not wrong.
That is countered by a terrible shot when Amy, Churchill, and Bracewell are watching the Doctor talk with the Daleks, and for some reason they're right in front of each other when they are not.
I know how they did that. You want to know how they did that?
How?
So if you go back and look, there's like this specific lens that you can use on cameras where the dead center of the screen is blurred, and the back is actually clear as day, close is clear as day, which they have to be on like the difference, so left and right side, farthest on each side, and it comes into clarity on both. Even though they're farther away, they're both exactly the same, but the middle is blurred out. So it's like a really cool lens they used, which they were able to get that shot when he was doing that corner of the eye, and the Dalek showed up.
But all this leads to me saying this is a 6.5.
Oh my god, dude! Really, just might as well just marry the dude, okay?
Then who are you gonna marry, Jimmy?
That's right. You're not marrying RTD. We've seen your comments. We've talked about those before.
All right, I'll marry Joe.
Joe, you think Joe wants you?
I'll take the tax break.
Anyway, 6.5 because there are a lot of solid things in this episode, but when he hits, there are good hits. But when he misses, sometimes those things will just stick with you. And the best thing that I can say about this episode, though, is at least I can remember it. The Beast Below, I don't remember a damn thing.
At least I can remember it. That's the best thing I can say about the episode.
I'm sorry, The Beast Below is a much better episode than Victory of the Daleks.
With the space whale?
Yes.
Right.
You remember? I
remember everything about The Beast Below.
Wow. I can all I can remember.
Why don't we review it next week?
Yeah, maybe we should, because I was staring at the list of episodes for that season, and I was like, I don't think I can recall the setting of this episode.
The people with the rotating faces.
Yeah, the robot faces, and
I remember like most of that episode.
Yeah.
But
that was a really good episode, like at the end where the Doctor goes like, no human has any right to talk to me today. I love that part.
Also, that's the first time we see the Doctor has put some of his trauma behind him, which was good, as I recall.
Maybe it's better than I remember then, but because I can't recall like you said that, I didn't remember that was in that episode.
No, it really is like, it is from the episode. It is actually like the only problem was him having that outburst was it's episode 2 with a new Doctor.
Yes.
So like people were like, really, dude, like this early, but like in my opinion, like it's a good episode. Like looking back on it, But when it first came out, people were like, well, we still don't really know how to feel about this new Doctor, and you just gave us a bunch of rage.
Yeah. Compared to this episode where, like, the Doctor having an outburst against the Daleks makes sense regardless of what Doctor it is.
Yep.
So, but yeah, like, Beast Below, great moment, just too early in the series.
And that's what, isn't that what Stephen Moffat said? He said if he had to, like, redo an episode, he feels like he let people down with the Beast Below.
I think...
Well, should we give her a rating for Beast
He did
Below
say he
now?
would redo an episode. I can't remember if it was Beast Below or like one from a different series.
I think it was that one.
Well, I'm sorry for the Beast Below slander. I just
you better be Pixel. If you want to stay on this channel.
I'm sorry. Okay.
You have three things you need to do. You need to love Mark Gatiss, love Sleep No More / Love and Monsters, and remember the Beast Below. Okay.
These are rules.
Yeah.
That we've all agreed to.
Yeah, it's the law of
Jimmy
Moses.
upholds all of them.
Yep.
Where's a good episode?
All right, for me, 6 out of 10. The Victory of the Daleks. It's an above average episode. It's not the best Dalek story, but it's okay. But yeah, it's just a lot of wasted potential because they just didn't like that. People didn't like the new design.
Landry, just for like a little clarity, what rating did you give Absorbaloff Love and Monsters?
Oh my God. How high do numbers go, Jimmy?
Infinitely, apparently.
What point does the human brain no longer comprehend quality? No, I would give that episode probably, for me, having not watched it in a while, probably an 8.
All right, so you gave this episode a lower ranking than Love and Monsters.
Oh,
okay.
absolutely.
Yeah, okay. So everyone listening, you don't have to listen to him.
You know what? You can choose just to... Go ahead.
Sorry, Jimmy, we know you love Mark Gatiss. All we've been talking about this entire stream is how much you love Mark Gatiss. And you have to defend him again? Like, calm down. It's okay.
I'm sorry, but I'm already married to Joe.
Look, I'll tell you, if Love and Monsters didn't have the terrible ending with the concrete slab bit, it probably got a 9.
Okay.
I agree that part is terrible, but the rest of the episode's really good.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, I agree with Landry. Like, yeah, sure, the Absorbaloff is goofy. Yeah, the whole pavement slab girlfriend is, that's a thing. But like, it's a really solid episode, like Doctor Light episode.
Yeah. Okay.
It's no Blink, but like it's
No.
actually good. It's good. It's not terrible.
At,
It's not
at
the
what
worst thing
point
ever.
does this channel become worse for society than it is good?
Because we dare to say the things people don't want to hear.
Yeah.
So
Unlike
Landry
the-
is the
The difference is,
Jimmy,
Jimmy, that unlike the official Doctor Who podcast, we don't get paid to kowtow to our bosses. We don't pay to agree with them.
So you're telling me
at all.
you're telling
But
me
if they
this
want
is the you're telling me this is the Alex Jones InfoWars of Doctor Who? This is what the media this is what the media doesn't want you guys to know.
They're putting
Yes.
chemicals in the
Love and
water.
Monsters is not as bad as people think.
The Absorbaloff they're making the Absorbaloff gay.
Designed by a child. That was great.
Designed
Great.
by child. Yeah.
Literally was, and it was fun. And I like the guy doing his. Bearing in mind that this is, what year this came out. The guy filming his little podcasty type bits was ahead of the curve. They were fun. They were edited together. Watching his emotional journey, watching these people and how the Doctor affected the lives of all these different people, and how they kind of became weirdly obsessed. But then they found each other. But then it all got corrupted. I thought that was fun. And then watching him really realize he went way too far with the Jackie stuff, that was good.
Okay.
But see, the thing is, I don't even think the Absorbaloff, like the design it's goofy, but it's how they go ahead and play it. They purposely decided, we're going to make this we're going to make this goofy in his performance. And it's like, that was a choice.
No, what you could have done was look at the movie from the 1930s, The Blob. Any of you guys watch that movie?
Yes, many times.
Yeah, you watch that and it's just a blob that absorbs other people. And that was horror back in the day, and it was scary. This is somewhat similar, but just not scary. You could have made it.
It was absurdist in the way a 1950s Superman comic was, and I love that. Like, oh wait, he just bumped into some red kryptonite. Now he has the head of an ant. You know, great, awesome. I like absurdist in my science fiction sometimes. I don't want every episode to be this, but every once in a while, yeah, give me this over the top, goofy, fun, not taking itself too seriously, but just enough human drama to keep it compelling. Yeah, they just went too far at the end with the slab.
Okay. I can understand that.
But I think that's our show. We've made it almost an hour.
We reviewed 3 things, basically.
Yeah, we did. We want to ask you to please like, comment, and subscribe. We'll be back next week with something, maybe The Beast Below, so that way I can go ahead and give it
You can right your wrongs.
proper. Yes, I can right my wrongs because I can admit when I'm wrong.
That's first.
But now it's time for us to go. So we'll see you next week. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye. Alonze.
Geronimo.